So, so for the sake of the recording, I will say that this is the Board of Health meeting for December 6th, 2023, and we have a quorum, myself, Catherine Hilton, Wim Levine, and Arlene Reed, and we are expecting Noreen Pease to join us. And we were just chatting about Wim's new well.
Mm-hmm. Exciting.
That the drilling rig, the kid who was operating it,
Yeah.
told me that if you were to buy a new one of those today, it costs $1 million for that.
No, $1 million.
You can get a cheaper one for $750.
Whew. Boy, I guess we're not going to have any new well drillers.
No, I don't.
That.
Who was the driller? What outfit?
Henshaw.
Henshaw. Mm-hmm.
How did he tell you how old the rig was?
It's pretty old. He bought it in New York. He bought sister ones, 2 of them.
Uh-huh.
And when he bought them, the guy said, if you ever want to sell them back, I'll take them.
What?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because he could easily resell them.
Probably, yeah. And maybe those ones, the older ones, are more reliable. That is some piece of engineering, though. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I missed how far they had to drill.
260 feet.
Uh-huh.
And
no fracking needed.
No fracking. Went into the bedrock and got 18 gallons a minute.
There you go.
Yeah. So maybe I should put in a swimming pool. Next to the pickleball court.
There you go.
It'll be a resort.
Right. Everyone will be talking about it.
Yeah, I can invite Patsy back.
I'm going to send a text to Noreen and see if she's joining us. I'm pretty sure she said she would. Let's see if she gets that. But I guess we might as well go on with the meeting since we're here and not waste time. So can we approve the minutes from last meeting?
Yes,
I hope that we do so.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Yep.
Aye.
Okay. I have endeavored to get a report from Greg on 56 Wendell Road. And this time he told me that, well, I sent him a text and I didn't get an answer for a few days. So I sent him another text and he said, I'm just seeing your text now. I'm taking drugs because I have to have a hernia operation. And apparently, being the procrastinator that he is, he procrastinated on the operation until the hernia turned into a full-scale bowel obstruction. So obviously nothing's happening with the house right now. So there it is.
Okay. Did he talk about anything going forward, or he's got too much on his mind right now to?
He was actually in the hospital on painkillers or sedatives or something, so he wasn't really very coherent. Let me see if there's anything helpful in what he said. No, he didn't give any indication of, and nor could he, judging from the situation. And you couldn't make this stuff up, and I have to assume he's not making this stuff up. I don't think he's that kind of person. But he certainly has had just an incredible run of bad luck.
He
Oh,
did
here's
tell you-
Noreen.
Go ahead.
Noreen's,
Oh, Noreen's coming?
Yeah.
Great.
so that's all I can tell you about that.
Okay.
Oh, I meant to, while we're waiting for her, I meant to ask you about your knee operation. I hear you're practically recovered.
Doing really well. Yeah.
Mhm.
I am walking without assistance. I still take something when I'm going up and down stairs, just in case, but I'm driving. I can walk 1.33 miles. I mean, I could walk longer than that, but that's how much I'm walking when the weather is fair enough. And yeah, it's all
Great.
good. Yeah.
And when did you have it?
6 weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. It was just one knee or both?
Oh my God, just one.
I know some people do them both at the same
I
time.
know.
Are you
heard
going to have
that
to have the
too.
other one done?
And I cannot imagine when you get them both done at once, from what I understand, you stay in a rehab facility for a while.
That makes sense.
There's no going home soon after that. Yeah,
Well, that's enough to make you not want to do that.
I know, but some people, nevertheless, for what, I don't know what their reasons are, but they choose. Yeah.
Right. Hi, Noreen. We can see your name there, but we can't see you.
And you're muted.
Hi,
Oh,
everyone. I
she is.
apologize.
There, now she's visible and audible.
Yes, and I'm eating my ice cream, so I apologize.
That's all right. Eileen's eating crackers, so it's just that
Oh,
kind of.
okay.
Dinner
All right,
is
good.
dinner is still on the horizon for me.
Okay, good.
Let's get through this meeting in a hurry so you can get to it. So I was just telling them that we approved the minutes, and I just telling the others that at 56 Wendell Road, things are halted because Greg is having still more health problems. So I have nothing really, no progress to report on that. Now, we have in front of us application for a disposal works construction permit, a repair, and a well permit for 74 Lake Drive, which was Skip Travolsky's house, and
Oh.
it's now being sold. And it hasn't actually been sold yet because they can't proceed with the sale until they have an approved septic system plan. It doesn't have to be installed, but has to be approved. That's probably not going to happen in a hurry because apparently Concom has to be involved in it. And that's just happened, even though I told the guy weeks ago to get in touch with them right away. In any case, and Claudia hasn't seen it yet either.
May I ask a question about that, Kat?
Yes,
Do,
please.
do you have a sense of why Concom has been more involved in septic tank issues recently? Is it because it's on the lake? Do you have a sense of what's changed?
I think it's a matter of personnel. What's changed is that somebody is actually going out of her way to look into all the disposal work construction permit applications,
Okay.
well permit applications, and then following up on them to see if the Concom has a jurisdictional interest in them.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
and that did not used to happen. What used to happen
Right.
is that if we thought there was a wetlands issue or something, we would contact them. And
Right.
usually what would usually happen is that the engineer would be aware of this and they would initiate the contact. But that seems to be happening less, and Concom is reaching out to them more. In any
Okay,
case,
thank you,
yeah.
because I thought that was a change.
it is a big change.
Yeah.
It was a good question. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I've been asked several times to let them know every time we have any kind of application, and I always say, yes, of course, that's a good idea, and then I always forget. So I think what has happened now is Miriam has apparently signed up for the meeting notification that comes from my town government dot whatever. And so then she knows that something is coming before us and she can, and then she'll get in touch with me and ask for details, which usually I can provide. So what seems to be a good idea to me is for us to agree that we will issue the permits for the septic system and the well for 74 Lake Drive after both Claudia has agreed to it and Conservation has agreed to it. And then that I would just go ahead and issue such a permit.
I have another question.
Please.
I guess we don't know what's involved, whether it will be a repair or a replacement at this point?
You know what, Noreen, there's almost no such thing as a repair. Basically, when they're called repair, they're a replacement.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think it is pretty much a it's a complete replacement, and they're going to have to drill a new well because the old well is basically in the way of a new septic system. Fortunately, they have a big lot there.
Yeah.
Other discussion?
Not for me.
Nope.
Would somebody like to make a motion to authorize me to issue this permit under the conditions that I just described?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Noreen,
Yes.
Arlene,
Yes.
Wim,
Yes.
and Cat too. Okay, so I will take care of that. On a related topic, Donna and Gary West, you may remember, came in with a tight tank proposal quite some time ago, and they also had to deal with Concom, and there were all kinds of complications with that. So
Where is their property? I do not recall them by name.
57 and 59 Shore Drive. And they have lived in, or they've owned 59 for a long time, and they bought 57.
Oh, now
and
it's sounding
be-
familiar.
And it's
Yep.
going to be torn down.
Right.
So a bunch of changes were made to the plan, the plan that we approved. But the engineer tells me that as far as the tight tank goes, there are no changes. That basically our part of the plan is unchanged. It had what's on the plan that's been changed has more to do with culverts and stuff and site work that involves road runoff and so on. So if you're okay with that, given that there's no change to the part that actually is under our jurisdiction, I will go ahead and issue that permit.
I thought when it's a tight tank that it's DEP that gives the permit. Am I
Not
right?
anymore.
Is
Not
that
anymore. Yeah, several years ago, I mean, they kind of started backing off, and
Okay.
at first they gave the permit, and then after a while, they just rubber stamped our permit, and now we give the permit.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they've been basically they're so understaffed that they just handed it back to us.
And I have another question too, because it's a tight tank and it just gets cleaned out when it's full. There's no requirement with regard to the number of bedrooms or restriction.
I think that even though it's a tight tank, I think that if you have a tight tank, you cannot have an increase in flow, which means that the number of bedrooms does not change. Cannot change from what it
An
was
addition on the-
before the repair, so they can't add bedrooms. And I believe I had a conversation with Donna about that. And
Okay.
she said that the number of bedrooms was not going to change.
Thank you.
And I think it's the, the basic minimum 3-bedroom system. I do have, I have it, I don't have it in front of me, I don't think. I do have it here, actually, if you want me to look at anything.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay. I know that's a relatively new system. I think within the last 7 years at the longest. It's pretty new.
Yeah, but nonetheless, they are replacing it, they're replacing the tank.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, that's what that's what the permit is for. They're replacing it because of siting
Oh, yeah, okay.
concerns involving tearing down the other house.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. I wasn't at that meeting, so that's helpful.
Okay. Okay, so unless there are objections, I'm going to go ahead and issue that permit.
No objections.
Okay. Okay, I don't know if anybody, I just got from Garrett, who couldn't come tonight, he's traveling for work, that long report on home burial requirements. I just got that this morning. And his thought is, I think we talked about this at the meeting last time, it was to just pass this on to the person who expressed an interest in it and kind of let her know that in my opinion, we can't really move forward on this until we get more clarity from the state. And they can't move forward on it until they get more clarity, period. Right? Because there are contradictory and confusing requirements coming from the different entities that are in charge of this. So what I would like to do is get in touch with the person and say, hang on, because we can't really do anything right now about this. And here's the whole big story, right, for your reading pleasure. Does that seem like the way to proceed?
It sounds fine to me. Can you remind me again, and I'm sorry, was it one of the neighbors that made the request or was it someone else? I've forgotten.
This is a person who is interested in being buried on her own property.
Okay.
So
Oh, that one. Yes. Okay.
No
Thank you.
immediate need for burial, but a
Mhm.
future plan.
Yeah,
A plan
okay.
for the- Yep. And
Yes,
I will need time to digest what you sent along earlier today, for sure.
I
But
will too, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
me too.
your basic approach for what do we say right now, to this interested person, I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would agree.
Any other thoughts or suggestions about that? Okay, okay, well, I'll send her that with a little note, just so she won't think that we've completely forgotten about her. Speaking of burial and forgotten about, we have still not heard back from Jewish Cemetery
Wow.
with a survey. And I'm not deeply concerned about it, but they do owe us a survey of some, or not a survey, but a plot plan, basically a plot plan of how they're gonna use the property. So maybe I should ask Karen.
Are there abutters pressing us at all, or have they also been sort of quiet lately?
Chris did send me an email one time asking if it was going to be on the agenda. And
Okay.
I said it was not, and I told him how he could sign up to get the meeting notifications. So now if it comes on the agenda, they'll know.
Okay. Good.
So I think the only other thing that I had on the agenda for tonight was the state performance standards. Noreen, do you know anything about this?
Yes, both Garrett and I attended the FERCog's had the state come and make a presentation, a very basic presentation on the performance standards and, you know, how we can check them, how you get on the website to take a look at. And I'm looking for my notes from that meeting.
And I'm sorry, is this performance standards of local boards of health?
For our collaborative,
Oh, for the collaborative, okay.
right, and what's expected of us in order to, you know, fulfill our obligations for the grant for this fiscal year.
I see, okay.
But this was a very broad and general presentation on what performance standards are intended to do and, you know, how they're implemented across the state. Here we go. Is there anything specific you were thinking of, Kat, or just what?
I know I don't have enough information to be thinking of something specific. I'm wondering what if there are things that we are supposed to be doing.
We did get something this week from Meg, and there is a online course that we're supposed to take. I just got that yesterday and I hadn't forwarded it to anyone, but I can do that. I think we have until February to take
And-
that particular course.
Is that
And
the thing that
all
takes
board-
hours and hours and hours?
I wasn't under the impression it took hours and hours and hours.
Oh, okay.
And is it all board members are, or
Yes,
anyone
yes.
related to a collaborative? So each of us needs to do
Yeah,
that.
each of us needs to take it. So I can forward that to you. I'll make a note to do that.
Okay, because I don't think I got it.
No, I was waiting until tonight.
No, I mean, I don't think I got it.
No, I
directly.
didn't
Again.
forward it to people, no.
Right, I thought maybe Megan would have sent it to our board. That's my point.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, she usually does, Kat.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it.
That's a good point. Okay. I'm
Check.
just making note, forward training.
Yeah, no, I don't have it.
Okay, I think it came yesterday, Kat,
Okay, no.
or the day before.
Apparently she didn't send it to me.
I apologize. I was in Boston
Well,
myself yesterday.
No, you're our contact. It makes sense that she would send it to you. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's urgent, but it is getting a little shorter now that we're in December.
Yeah. I'll get it to you.
Okay.
Basically, I'll just tell you a little bit about the performance standards. What they did was they took there are 93 existing statutes and regulations that pertain to boards of health, and they kind of looked at those and took a look at where all of the collaboratives, and there are, gosh, I forget how many collaboratives, quite a few, over 100, 300 municipalities participating in these collaboratives,
Oh, okay.
and how they measure up to these standards in terms of, you know, getting their job done.
Mhm.
That's interesting. Out of what, something like 350 municipalities in the whole state
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
that are involved in a collaborative.
Right. So almost everyone is doing it now. Some of those standards, some of those 93 are antiquated, and those are the ones that you'll find an asterisk beside them. I can forward to you to what the website is if you want to look at the performance standards.
That'd be good.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, as I said, both Garrett and I attended that. And I think there's going to be actually another one coming up next week. Sort of an overview of what the performance standards are about. And everybody was getting an invitation. I think all the boards of health were getting an invitation to that. You would think it would be out.
Sounds familiar to me, but
Does it? Okay.
Um,
All right, so that's about all I have to say about that, but I will,
Okay,
I'll get that, that course that we're supposed to be taking over to everybody.
okay,
I'll do it as soon as we get off.
that'd be great. That'd be great. And, yeah,
I only got information about the November 27th performance standards. Yeah. No, so along with dementia, age and dementia action plan, but I
Mhm.
don't have,
Right, that's the agenda that announced this meeting and that the state was coming to, talk to us about it, correct?
right,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yep.
Mhm. So yeah, I mostly communicate with Garrett on this, and we both attended it, so I think we're pretty well
Okay,
covered on that, but I'll get this new request
Great.
out to you.
Great. Something else for us to
Yeah, I know,
do.
I know.
It sounds like it would be, I know that there was something that they wanted boards of health to take that was quite lengthy that you had to take over time. I hope this isn't it.
I haven't heard anyone complaining about it at any of the meetings, and I'm
Uh-huh.
feel fairly certain I'd hear complaints if that were the case. Kat.
Yeah, you're
So-
probably right, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's something that we could do as a group.
Mhm.
Rather than working individually, if we could get together as the Board of Health or part of the Board of Health and
Mhm.
either in person or on Zoom.
Yeah.
And,
Well, if it's hours and
work
hours and hours, that might be a challenge, but.
right, yeah, but Noreen doesn't think that, so maybe
Mhm.
not. But
The
yeah.
other thing, just so everyone knows, our collaborative meeting is next, I think it's Thursday morning, and I can't go. But Garrett could, which reminds me, I do need to remind him of that. So we might be hearing more about, what needs to be done at that meeting as well.
Great. Yeah, we need to be careful that this stuff doesn't kind of.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, all of a
Yeah,
sudden
yes,
hit us
yeah.
like a wave. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay, well, that's all I have to talk about, I think. Does anybody else have things to discuss?
Pat, I only have, you had forwarded me something from the Board of Health email inbox, someone looking for a health advocate for their parent or for a family member.
Yeah.
I communicated back to Sarah that, and to you,
Mhm.
that aside from what I can read on the internet, I don't have any insight about setting up a health advocate for someone. Did she get back to you? Because I haven't heard anything from her.
From Sarah? No, I haven't heard a word.
So I don't want to leave that town resident hanging if,
Right. Right. I'm glad you
but I
brought it
really
up because it had kind of slipped my mind, but I'll get back to Joanne Bernhard, who got the request at the Council on Aging.
oh, right, it was from the Council on Aging, that's right.
Yeah, and so I'll tell her that we don't have any information.
I can send you, for what they're worth, the links that I found when I did some reading on the subject, but I
Uh-huh.
don't have any firsthand experience with this.
Yeah, why don't you send the links and I'll pass them on to Joanne and say, sorry, this is,
Okay.
we don't know any more than you do, really.
Okay. And let's keep Sarah Fisks in the loop on this,
Mhm.
then hopefully she'll pick up and chime in at some point. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had any.
Or maybe
contact with
someone
her
in
at all.
the, maybe someone else in the collaborative has
Right.
a better handle on this and can provide us with some information.
That's
Or
a good
That's a
thought.
really good point.
Maybe Megan would have some more information on that.
yeah,
Okay.
I will get the link or two that I came upon in my reading to you, probably not tonight, but I'll make a note to myself to do it tomorrow morning. Okay.
That would be great. That would be great, and I'll get back to Joanne as
Okay.
soon as I get that, and I'll also send an email to Megan.
Okay,
Okay.
I didn't think of her in the first place, but
right. But I think
makes
I think we have to keep remembering that the collaborative is a resource for us to
Exactly.
tap into
Yeah.
Yes.
when
Yeah.
something is above our pay scale here,
Yeah.
which doesn't take
Great.
much,
I don't know. I think we do
we are
pretty well.
volunteers, remember?
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I do have another announcement. I think I'm so exuberant that, I've already forgotten. But as of Monday's meeting of MAFCO, I have resigned both from the board and as its co-chair after 11 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
I told them that our board fully endorsed Garrett to take my place on the board. So Garrett was elected to be on the steering committee.
Well,
Congratulations,
that
Nora.
is great.
Congratulations.
Thank
And,
you.
and thank you for 11
Yes.
years of doing that.
Yes, thank you. That was a
Really.
big commitment, and I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you all. It was Bill's footsteps that I followed in, so I had to rabble rouse and cause some trouble myself. But as I told Garrett, we've come a long way in the last 6 months, and I think it's really back on some even ground. And we have a really good steering committee, and so far we're really happy with the people we hired to be our health planner on behalf of the whole area, which is 25 towns.
Great.
So yeah, so it felt like it was a good time. Things are good. So time
Yeah.
to turn over the reins before something is not so good, right?
Right, yeah. Pick a good moment and get out while you can.
That's right.
Well done.
That's right.
Thank you, Noreen, for
Thank
all
you.
your work on that.
Yes.
On that note, do we have anything else?
No.
Well, how about we adjourn and let Arlene go and get something besides crackers for dinner?
Something real to
So-
eat.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, please. Okay, you guys, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Kat.
you so
See
much.
you
Good
soon.
night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.